All right. This is the Harjit and Prayer show again, live from Microsoft Ignite.
What's
On
up? I'm
on,
sad.
I'm sad too, man. And this is Friday. It's the last day.
Yeah, it went quick.
Yeah. I know. Last night when I was going to bed after the attendee celebration, I was like, "Oh no, tomorrow's the last day."
Yeah, but there's like lots of good sessions
Going on today.
I'm like, what in the world?
I know. I
Yeah.
looked up the app and I was like, "Oh my God! All these sessions at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock." You know.
Yeah, I'm hoping to make it to Wonder Laura's
Oh
sessions
yes, she's awesome.
at 12:45.
Okay.
And I'm like, whoa, that's on today. Awesome. Because last year it was just like, just kind of like low, not really technical, just like marketing kind of stuff. But
Right.
it's like technical stuff.
It is
today.
technical. There's still people around.
There's a lot of people. Yeah.
It's thinned out, but there's still a lot of
definitely
people.
thinned out.
And
But still.
yeah. So anyway, what are your takeaways? Or the things you want to talk about, and do a recap for our viewers.
So I think we're going to talk about some like 5 things we saw as improvements
Right.
over the past few years, because they have, they listen to all the feedback, they look at all the data.
They do.
They look at where there's random people selected to have some location tracking enabled and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so to get an understand of flow. Do they actually look at that? And I think this year proved that they do.
They do. Yeah.
Yep. So I think the first thing for me is everybody has been complaining about food the last couple of years.
Yep.
And at the Ignite 101, Joey Snow stood up and said, "Who is here at Ignite is coming here for the food." Of course it's not going to be like your gourmet chef,
Yeah.
whatever, but I mean, for what they have to do, I think they did an excellent job. I didn't have to wait on lines, and
It was very quick.
yeah. And you had the choice of like pick up and go,
Yep.
or the buffet style stuff,
then-
and it was good.
Yeah,
It was really yummy.
They had a different halls for the food too. So there was one closer to the expo hall area,
Yep.
another one by the hangouts, and there was some at the Hyatt, and so yeah, I've heard some good things about it. The grab and go was perfect.
Yeah,
Grab it and go somewhere, sit down, and go back to the hangouts, and
Exactly.
things like that. Yeah.
Yep.
So the food was good.
yep. The second thing was, a lot of people were like, "Oh my God!" Last year, especially, there's so much walking. Because there is part of this conference center. It's huge.
Yeah.
And this year it was limited to the Hyatt and the West
The West Building.
concourse,
Yeah.
and there were some focus groups meeting at one of the Rosens
Right.
and stuff. So significantly less travel time in between sessions, getting
Yeah.
to your meals and stuff like that. And that was awesome. It wasn't like, oh man, I need to dedicate 45 minutes to get to one session to the other.
Yeah.
It was just
This was a major
yeah.
improvement.
If-
Yes.
If you wanted to be in the room, like it took me max, the longest I had to walk was 10 minutes.
I think it was 10 minutes. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah. And I hung out mostly at the West Building.
Mhm.
This is where everything was happening that I needed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good feedback.
Yep.
What else?
And the third, what did we say the third one was?
The hangouts.
Yeah. I have to admit, a lot of my time was spent listening and watching the sessions from the Hangouts. Even the ones that were not
Yes.
on the screen, I could just stream them off one of my devices. And what that allowed me to do is focus on taking the information down and trying to understand what was going on.
True.
And once the session was finished, I would have, there's some questions I have that are unanswered. Let me head over to the product booths
Yes.
to go further into that.
Yes.
And so that is a great addition that they started, I think, last year.
Yeah.
Maybe kind of in Atlanta, but not as, pronounced.
I think I saw a big difference this year. The way they did some of the seating too. You had the flip tables. You could do that. People were using it. They had the little the large chairs, the bean bags, and the picnic tables. It really felt like you were out somewhere, like like in a
was a
park
very-
or something like that.
yeah.
Very relaxed atmosphere, and you didn't need to run to sessions and stuff. You could do it all from
Exactly.
there. Yeah.
And if you needed some downtime, you could sit down in a chair and play Xbox.
Yeah.
And some people are watching sessions while playing Xbox. That's just how they they need to be kinesthetic while they learn
That's true. That's
and
true.
stuff.
And
So
then you want to talk about sessions.
very technical. At least the ones I
Yes.
went to.
I heard about that from a few other people too, that they were very high level this time. So if you were hitting the 300-400s, they were the 3 or 400s. You know.
Yep. No marketing. It wasn't like, our stuff is better or here's this third party product that you can use. The title and abstract matched the content
Yes,
of
absolutely,
the session.
absolutely. That was good.
So
What
But-
about along the lines of sessions? You mentioned about good conversations with the product teams and the vendors.
Yes.
Right. So I found that to be very effective this year. There was a lot more quality. Even the vendors, they weren't really pushing, very the marketing stuff. It's like, hey, come on, I want to sell you this stuff. No, it was like, hey, do you know my product? And I hit the ones that actually we're using now or we're going to use.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I just inherited this software of yours. I'm not sure what I'm doing. And they walked me right through it. Yeah, this is what it is. This is how you can do it. You need support, just contact us and, tell them you met us here at Ignite and, things like that.
Yep.
They're really, really good.
there was one vendor I even walked up to because I'd never heard of them before. And I'm like, hey, I was like, what do you guys do? Started
Yeah.
asking them questions to kind of understand what they were there for. They're like, oh yeah, that's not what we really do. But if you go to that booth there, they do this.
Oh,
I'm like,
that's excellent.
isn't that your competitor? They're like, yeah, but like they do that exactly what you're looking for. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's so
That is
weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know what message was sent
That's
out.
respect right there.
Yeah, I don't know
Yes.
what kind of message was sent out to the vendors and stuff like that, but it was not pushy. They weren't trying to grab my badge
No.
and stuff like that. It
No.
was just very professional, I guess.
Very professional and
Yeah.
very supportive of their competitors too,
Yeah.
which is nice.
So that's
And the experts in the Microsoft area too were really, they
Oh,
were
yeah.
good. They were able to answer questions. As from a previous Ignite, I noticed there's a difference. I've gone up to some of them before in the past, and they could barely answer your questions.
'cause they want to
know.
be sitting in front of the computer coding.
Yeah,
Right?
sitting in front of the computer coding and things like that. It's like, and then they pass you off to somebody else. And, they're just trying to like fill in their hours, the required
Okay.
hours,
Got it.
their duty, staff duty or whatever. But no, this time, if I went to the teams, the guy in the teams or the gal, and they were answering my questions. If I went to the Windows Server side, they were answering my questions. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
So
and finally, there was a big improvement in terms of community. Ignite this year seemed like it brought the community together in so many ways. And I think it's because they did a good job providing the resources, the tools, the location, anything and everything possible. And it just meshed right into your experience with this conference, right?
absolutely.
It wasn't like forced upon you. It wasn't like, oh, you gotta meet up people, you gotta network, you gotta do. No, it
It happened.
happened. So I really like that. I really enjoyed the diversity in tech stuff this year. That's a big improvement. And the idea swaps where attendees could create sessions.
Right.
It wasn't just for MVPs and stuff. Attendees could do it. So good stuff. Really good
Yeah.
stuff. This is probably my best. Well, it's not probably. It is my best Ignite of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. Anything else we?
They announced the dates for next year.
Yeah, it's in November.
Yep, it's going to be in November. I didn't look on the calendar. I'm curious if that falls on Election Day.
I thought it was November 4 to 8. I think. Something
Yeah,
like that.
I don't know.
I think that's the elections, isn't it?
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
We can all make sure we all vote. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, you can do that
Remote
the-
voting.
Yeah,
The
remote
ballot.
ballots.
Absentee ballots.
Absentee
Yeah,
ballots.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
But,
Well, this only affects us guys, those in the U.S. So
right.
you guys don't have to worry from Europe and stuff.
Yeah.
And-
I'm excited about that. I don't have to hear about all you all complaining about the humidity.
The hurricanes.
And it's so hot. It's
Oh
like,
my God! The
gosh.
hurricanes are coming.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is great, and we got a chance to meet up with our friends We've had a great time all week and some funny moments, and
Mhm.
we got some stories
Sure.
for some of our memories and stuff like that. So yeah, and that's pretty much it from us. Hopefully you enjoyed our coverage. Hopefully you enjoyed our off and on reporting this week, and we'll probably do another recap with more details when we get back home. Um, Definitely subscribe to our YouTube show
Please do.
and give us feedback. All right. And lastly, thank you for those who attended my sessions. I really appreciate it. I know some of you showed up to support me, and I really, really appreciate that.
Cool.
So please fill out the evaluations, and not only for my sessions, but fill out evaluations for all the sessions you've been to, as well as the conference evaluation. I read that Microsoft Ignite will be donating $2 to girls who code that movement.
Nice.
Right? So for every evaluation, they're going to be donating their money, and we got to support this.
Yep.
So please do it. And until next time, I am. You'll find me on Twitter as HOORGE.
And you'll find me on Twitter at the IT Jedi.
All right. Cheers, guys.
See you later.